What's up, guys? Welcome back. Jedi here. I hope everybody's having a great apocalypse. I know me personally, I'm doing phenomenal. I never really talk to people anyways, so this whole social distancing doesn't really affect me. But anyways, today we're going over some closed guard breaks. We're going over 3 of them. And actually, something that I remember as a white belt back when I first started is a lot of people would show me these closed guard breaks, and whenever I would go to try them, they either would just not work or even get me swept or submitted. And so today, what I'm going to make sure to give you guys are 3 breaks from closed guard that absolutely work no matter what your level is. These are the highest percentage breaks. I personally use them all the time. And in fact, we're going to go ahead and show you guys some examples of me using these breaks in live training so you know that they work. If you guys are ready, then let's go ahead and roll the intro. Alright guys, now first off I want to start by saying that the best way to get yourself out of closed guard is to not even get yourself there in the first place. So before we dive into these guard breaks, I want to start off by showing you a couple ways that you can avoid being put in somebody's full guard. To prevent my opponent from jumping guard, one of the things that I like to do is I'll grab my opponent's belt palm up and I'll lock my elbow to my hip. That way when he goes to jump guard, he can't get his hips close enough to solidify a solid closed guard. And if he tries to pull me in with his foot on the hip, I'll go one knee up the middle to force him to play an open guard. Also, another way to avoid ending up in somebody's closed guard is whenever you're passing their guard, avoid getting on your knees. When you get on your knees, it makes it a lot easier, especially if they have you in half guard, for them to put you in their closed guard. So avoid being on your knees if at all possible. Stay on your toes. Go for standing passes. This is going to help you avoid closed guard. Alright, now we're going to assume that for some reason or another you have found yourself in somebody's closed guard. Don't worry, let's go ahead and work ourselves out of it now. A couple things that you want to keep in mind when you're in closed guard, and honestly, these are things that apply to all of jiu-jitsu, is you want to have good posture, and you also want to be controlling the grips. Alright, now, all of the breaks that we're going over today are going to be standing guard breaks. And the reason for that is that any type of standing guard break gives you a lot more leverage over your opponent, and it also makes it a lot harder for your opponents to hold on to guard because they no longer have the ground to support them, so they have to use their abs and their core. And for that reason, standing guard breaks have a much higher chance, percentage-wise, of working than any type of guard break while you're on your knees. For the first technique, you're going to grab your partner's gi in their armpits, and then you're going to use this to straight arm them. And it's really important here that you keep your arms straight. This is going to make it nearly impossible for your partner to offer any offense. From here, lean your head forward as you support your weight with your arms. You're then going to get up onto your toes, bring your knees under your partner's butt, and then set down as you're setting into a chair. From here, put weight on their core with your palms until they stop trying to set up. Then grab their pants where their pocket would be as you keep your elbow close to your body. Next, take your other hand and make an L with it so that your thumb's at a 90-degree angle with the rest of your hand. Next, use the webbing of your hand to push down on your partner's leg right beneath their knee. This is such a simple way to break the guard that I was literally mind blown when I first saw it. And this is me hitting it live. And when you're executing this move, it's important that you have patience, because any mistakes, especially out of closed guard, can be easily capitalized on by your opponent for a quick submission. And you can also post in your partner's biceps before you go for this move. And another important note, especially at the higher levels, is that when your opponent senses you're about to break their guard, usually they'll transition into some sort of attack, which you can time well for a quick guard pass. Also, if while you're going for this move, your opponent is able to set up and start breaking down your posture, it's important to address that before you go on to breaking their guard. For the next technique, you're going to break your partner's cross grip. You're then going to use both your hands to staple his hand to his hip. Next, straight arm to support your weight and step up to your foot. And you also want to be looking 90 degrees to the left to make it harder for your partner to break down your posture. Step up to your other foot, hip in, and use your free hand to break your partner's guard. And here's me hitting it in live rolling. And a great time to attempt a guard pass is right after you've broken your opponent's guard. This is because you already have some sort of control over their pants, and you've also just done something that they're now reacting to. And it's also crucial to be maintaining your posture and your balance the whole time. And a great way of accomplishing this is to use your hips as much as possible, because they're literally the strongest muscles that you have in your body. And like I've said before, anytime your opponent is able to threaten your posture, it's always important that you address that first before going on to break their guard. And for the last break, you're going to stiff arm your partner's armpits like we've done before. You're then going to stand up with your knees under their hips. You're then going to underhook their top leg and use that to throw it by as you hip into it. This is a break that I actually picked up by watching Marcelo Garcia. And here's me hitting it live. And always remember to address any grips that they throw up. And a lot of times, your opponent will let go of guard as soon as you stand up because they know that they can't hold on to it. And if you can capitalize on it, then there's usually a quick guard pass waiting for you. And just like our first break, you can also post in your opponent's biceps. And if they're holding on real tight from here and I'm feeling like it, sometimes I'll rock them up and down to make them loosen up a little bit. Alright guys, I hope you're able to use these guard breaks. The next time you find yourself on the mats, be sure to let me know how they work out for you. Also, if you found this video helpful, be sure to drop a big thumbs up. It would really help me out. If you're new to the channel, I'm Jedi. I welcome you. I post a new video every Monday and every Friday that's going to help you take the next step with your jiu-jitsu and get the results that you actually want to get. If that sounds good to you, then be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. Until next time, guys, be safe and remember, stay consistent.
They love to talk, I don't talk, I get it. Yeah, you know I'm about it, if it kill me, I'ma let it. Run into the bag like I'm so athletic. I've been up since 6, making hits like tennis. I've been on fire, I just need my credit.